Top five, top five, top five.
Topical back with another video. I'm Strange Wang. He is Nate. Today we're doing top 5 movie families. Families from movies. Listing that to be our top 5. In honor of House of Gucci, which is about the Gucci family, and the Disney movie, which is, I already forgot the name about. He just told me.
Encanto.
Bingo. That's what I say. Because of those great families, probably great families, both look like really good movies. We're doing top 5 family movies. But before we get to that, he's going to fix his microphone. And he's also going to give you how the top 5s work. And our social media, where you can find it.
It's true. If you scroll down the description box below, pop it open, you'll find links to our social media accounts. You also find links to our Patreon account and our Coffee account. So if you want to help the channel grow, we'd greatly appreciate that very much so. If you don't know how we do our top 5s, he's going to start off with his 5 and 4. I'll give my 5 and 4, 3, 2, 3, 2. Then we trade off number 1s. We also have something called the Zemeckis rule, which just means if we both have the same movie on our list, but one person has it 2 spots or higher, they'll say Zemeckis, and we won't talk about it until we get to it on their list.
Number 5 for me is going to be the Thombe. I don't know how to say it.
Thrombies?
Yeah. Yeah, Knives Out.
My number 6, yeah.
Great movie.
Just missed.
I like the family because they're all a bunch of fuckheads. And guess what? Strange Wang's family is a bunch of fuckheads. I don't like my family. That family sucks. We got something in common. So it's on there for that. I love the way they fight and how every family is a little bit different. They all have their own story told in a not a like in your face kind of way.
Yeah.
Everything's organic and you kind of feel for them. But then at the end of the movie, you don't like them. And you're like, yeah, like you could probably be in a better situation in life. You could probably treat your kid better, whatever the case may be. But you put yourself in this predicament and you're all greedy pieces of shit.
Yeah.
And that makes for a fun movie experience. I was close because I feel like this is more of a family aspect, but I almost put Ready or Not.
Oh, okay.
Because that's another shitty family. So the shitty families were fighting for my number 5 spot.
The focus is definitely more on the family and Knives Out.
Yeah. Because they're all looking for the will, what's in the will. Yeah. I can relate to that. I had a grandparent pass and everyone came out of the woodwork. Like, who are you? I'm your cousin. I haven't seen you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Next is a classic, The Addams Family.
Mm-hmm.
They're creepy and they're kooky, mysterious and spooky.
Yeah.
I love things that are spooky but not scary because I don't like scary movies because I jump a lot. I watched Last Night in Soho a couple weeks ago. I was jumping more than kids on trampolines. So I was so frightened from that movie.
Pussy, 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 pussy.
But The Addams Family, it never frightens me, but it gives me that like October creepy vibe that is great to have. And the family, so they're weird. They're, as I said,
they're cool.
The song explains them perfectly, and that's why I love The Addams Family. I'm talking about the first 2 movies, not the animated ones, nor the one where the who played it? Tim. He's very, very sick now. Tim
Curry?
No, he did Rocky Horror Picture Show. Tim
Curry?
Yeah, Tim Curry. I thought you said Kurt.
No, Curry.
Yeah, Tim Curry.
I was like, that's the same guy.
Not that Addams Family, the 2 original ones. Perfect casting, perfect vibe, fun movies that I grew up on, and I love them to this day still.
Yeah, nice.
That's my 5 and 4.
So my number 5, I just want to, I thought about this when I was making the list because it's like a lot of our lists end up being sort of open-ended.
Shut the fuck.
Because all you did was text me and say top 5 movie families. It could be top 5 best movie families, could be top 5 worst movie families. I just went with the most interesting to me.
That's what I did as well.
And so my number 5, I went with the family from Coco. They don't have a last name.
They don't have a last name.
I looked all over the internet to see what their last name was, and they don't have one. The only person who has a last name in the movie is Ernesto de la Cruz, and he's a dick. Facts. Similar vibes to a lot of other stuff in that they start off very dysfunctional, but they're also still very loving, and you get to watch them grow as a family and closer. And family is the whole point of that movie anyways, and the importance of it, and I love that. So I went ahead and made that my number 5. But it was really close between that and the Thrombies. And then my number 4 is going to be the Hoovers.
Number 4?
Yeah.
Zemeckis.
Oh, wow.
So my number 3 is going to be the Corleones from The Godfather.
That's my number 2.
Okay. All right, we're good on that.
Yeah, we're good.
In my head, I was like, Zemeckis.
I would have said Zemeckis. I know how it works. This is only like the 100th one of these we've done.
I don't. But yeah, the Corleones, what a great like dynamic you set up in the first film to have the character arc in the second film and the passing and how Michael came. I mean, Don rose to power with like Michael rising to power as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it's one of those movies where you sit back and you just watch these characters, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you don't particularly like them or dislike them, but you're just, like, deep down, you're rooting for them a little bit for the situations. And the movie's so, like, masterfully made that you just, these are your guys.
Yeah.
But you love them from afar type deal. And then, because the family shrinks.
Yes.
Each
Mostly
movie.
due to murder. Yeah.
Yes. So you still see how a real mob family goes because, like, you see the family in Godfather, but I mean, not Godfather, Goodfellas.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't get much of a family idea. And then, like, you always hear about in, like, Italian, when people joke about mob movies and, like, in cartoons or, like, TV shows, no, the family.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
So this is the best representation of a family in a mob movie to me. Even though there is a mob movie called The Family, Robert De Niro.
Yeah. And there's the
Michelle
Sopranos
Pfeiffer.
movie now.
Sopranos movie as well. But you need to watch TV show for that. I really appreciate it. But yeah, the Corleones, just because you're not going to get another dynamic like this. And it's so interesting as well.
Yeah.
Like, it's not different just to be different. It's different for a purpose.
Yeah. I love, the reason that they made it so high on my list is, obviously, like, iconic films. Well, the first two. And then, like, I guess the third one is also, it's infamous. To say,
I didn't mention the third one for a reason.
To say the least. But, yeah, like, the amount of time that you get to spend with this family through the 3 movies, but also, like, the multi-generational aspects that you get of it. Like, it's not that you're just spending a lot of time with this family. You're also kind of learning, like, why Vito was the way he was. And then that has a lot to do with why Michael and Sonny, and I forget the other brother's name, are the way that they are. But it's also not even just about, like, father and son. Like, you spend time with Sonny and the dumb brother, who's, I really can't remember his name. That's annoying as fuck.
2,000 years later.
Yeah, they're just super interesting because they start off close-knit, loving, everything like that. And then obviously, like, the jealousy comes into play when you know, Michael's the one who's going to take over the family. Sonny gets killed. Like, Vito almost gets killed. You get the flashbacks to him in Italy. Like, you just get to spend so much time with them and watch them go through, like, so many, like, major events in their really awful life that it is just incredibly enthralling to watch.
My number 2 is the Zemeckis from earlier, is the Hoovers from A Little Miss Sunshine. This, honestly, it was fighting for my number 1 just because this film, I feel like, is a better representation of what a real American family looks like.
That's fair.
Than my number 1. And which is why I beat out The Godfather and The Corleones. But the Hoovers, like I said, realistic. This film has someone that everyone can relate to. Me, I relate to the grandpa. He's the best.
Every night it's the goddamn fucking chicken. Yeah.
It is the goddamn chicken.
Yeah, and I mean, what makes them so great...
4 nights a week.
There are a lot of movie families that exist. So, I mean, like, you know, they still made my top 5. Still love this movie so much. The only reason they were lower on mine was just, like... It honestly, like, there were so many of these families that I find equally interesting that it just kind of came down to, like, okay, well, which movie do I like better? But, yeah, like, they're incredible. And they're all so, like, vastly different. But then, obviously, you have, like, the girl at the centerpiece ultimately just being the glue that is barely holding these other 5 people together, and then 4 people because... But... Yeah, rest in peace. But yeah, so like just getting to watch them like find that common ground like through her, and like grow closer as a family unit, and also getting to watch, well, so like, Steve Carell's character, you know, he's going through a tough time, and he's like kind of the lens that we're viewing it from. But then even like Paul Dano's character is the other one that has like a monumental like shift or event. And I guess like, you know, the dad, like the dad's dad dies. So it's like all the characters for the most part kind of go through something like some sort of trial in the movie. I guess Toni Collette's trial is just living with this family.
Yeah.
But
Find something other than cook.
but yeah, like the way the script is written, how well they like just portrayed how different they all are, and then like meshing as a family unit despite their differences. It's good storytelling. Big fan.
I bet you were like Paul Dano's character in high school. Like you started calling your mother by her first name. Still, I'm taking a vow of silence. And you talk for 3 weeks.
Yeah, I never took a vow of silence,
And
but
then-
I did definitely have a phase where
And then she took all your rated R movies and M-rated video games and put them in a box and told you to sell them when you were 23 years old. When you came home after work, you was like, "Mom, I bought these with my own money."
I was 22 when that happened, but okay.
That was close. And that's when you broke your vow of silence because she was going to throw away your adult content,
Right.
Because of Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So that was your number 2. My number 3 is going to be The Incredibles.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about them. 2 Disney movies, one less, huh?
They're incredible. 2 Pixar movies of that.
Pixar, yeah.
Which I didn't even, honestly, I didn't even think about that, and I probably would have switched the Thrombys in because I don't like to double down on studios in my list. But, yeah, they're The Incredibles. Pretty much everyone has seen almost every Pixar movie at this point, but especially the ones that we consider classics by now. The Incredibles 100% falls in that category. And they also kind of fit into the same theme, sort of, in that, like, they are all independently very different. There is a youngest one that, at least in the second movie, is just kind of like the glue that's barely holding everything together. But like you get a good portrayal of what trying to be like a modern parent is like, and like struggling with generational gaps. You get like 2 little coming of age stories with Violet and Dash, and then Jack's there for comedy relief and to be a cute baby, and then you get like the you know, what it's like to be an overlooked like mother in a family in the second movie with Mrs. Incredible. So a lot of different aspects that you get to look at, and a lot of a loving family finding ways to make shit work. And in this one, they all just happen to be superheroes. So big fan.
Honestly, that one probably would have made my list because a few months ago when my baby mamas just dropped the kid off and left and like wouldn't take any of my calls.
Did you put it in one of those Firehouse baby drop boxes?
I should have. So I felt like Mr. Incredible in the second movie. You know, they ain't got no diapers, so I look like
Yeah.
it was chaos.
Yeah. Do we have the same number 1?
Mike, maybe.
I mean, I would assume so. The World Tenenbaums.
Yeah, it's
Of
the
course.
Tenenbaums.
Everything we said about The Godfather, you could say about this family, except for the murder part, because this family is so like, you're not going to find these dynamics and scenarios and relationships and even chemistry in any other movie out there. Except like probably some other Wes Anderson movies, you can find similar chemistry just because like that's the tone he likes to have his movies go. But these characters are very lovable at times. I feel like all of them, like, you like them and then you don't like them, then you like them, but then their quirkiness and just character brings you back to them, and you just love every character at the end, which is great to take you on such a roller coaster ride. And that, honestly, that's kind of relatable to Real Family, because Real Family seems like a roller coaster ride sometimes, but it is outside of this world a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think there's probably a family, but probably not a family out there like the World Tenenbaums, but it's good to have that in there.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I was fighting with Little Miss Sunshine to be number 1 because they're not married yet, so Danny Glover's technically not a part of the family, and Owen Wilson plays a huge part of that movie, and technically he's not a part of the family either. But
By blood.
it still made my number 1.
Yeah, I mean, with Wilson's character, Owen, that being, I mean, he's been friends with this family since he was a child. So, like, I think you can make an argument that he is a part, even though not by blood, Well, shit, Margot was adopted. But
There you go.
I think you can make an argument for that. Yeah, I agree with everything that you said. I could have easily put 3 Wes Anderson movie families on this list because he just does such a great job about writing about dysfunctional, terrible families. And then finding a way to make them so incredibly endearing, even if they don't do a very good job of fixing it by the end of the movie, you still feel some sort of resolution, which is incredible storytelling. The Tenenbaums is easily the best. Every single member of the family, or everyone in this movie, period, is just like so like uniquely charismatic in their own way. You're absolutely right. They do a great job of just making you go from like just hating or just being tired of certain ones of them to just bringing you back around to them. Ben Stiller is pretty much annoying throughout the entire movie, but then by the end of it, because he finally like unloads and lets go, then it's just like you really feel for this dude because they explain why he's being the way that he is.
I don't know. I kind of like him during the file drill because it reminded me of Finding Nemo's pops.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Very
like,
Marlin-like.
And that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
The file drill, waking the kids up. Get out, get out.
Yeah.
And they all dress in tracksuits.
We're all dead. Yeah.
Like, that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But then he
funny.
does like.
Yeah. But like to add to your other point, what really puts them like at number 1 for me is that Wes Anderson does such a good, like I don't, like you're saying, I don't know that like the real world equivalent of this family exists perfectly, but it also kind of can't because he created such like a hyperbolized version of a dysfunctional family that it's like it's just out of the norm enough for you to accept the fact that you're watching a story and just let your guard down and invest, but then also equal amounts of like real actual like family drama type shit. So it's like he suckers you in to like accept these hard things that people would normally just like push away and not want to deal with in their real life. And that's absolutely amazing. And I love it so much. And that's why they're number 1.
Better movie, Grandpa Hoover or Royal.
Tenenbaum. I still got to go Royal, but they're
I don't know, man.
like, well,
He's only a grandpa for half the movie.
dude, that's really.
They don't even know he exists. You
That's
gotta go
tough.
Hoover in that situation.
Well, he dies like 2/3 through the movie.
So he's still there.
But well, he
He
does.
eats chicken with them every fucking night.
But I will say, he is definitely there in spirit because he is the one who ultimately taught her the dance that she does in the Little Miss
Yeah.
Sunshine competition. So,
Tell us down below who do you think the best movie grandpa is? Maybe that'll be a list one day and we can put in the other 3.
not
But-
Vito Corleone.
No, he has that scene with his grandson in the garden. Who knows? It might sneak in there. Scroll back up, hit the like button, share the video, and subscribe.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.